Hello friends, Eid ul Azha Qareeb hai, and in this video we are going to shed light on three things: what, who and why. So stay connected. सबसे पहले the stereotype that Muslims only eat non-vegetarian food. एंड एज सुन एज ईद उल अज़हा फेस्टिव टाइम कम्स तो हम देखते हैं मीडिया में और बहुत ज़्यादा हमारे लोकल चैट्स में ये डिस्कशन में आने लगता है टू बी वेगन एंड हाउ बीइंग नॉन वेजिटेरियन इज़ risky for health or and so on. But even though the myth and stereotype that Muslims alone are non-vegetarians, be it in India or across the world, ऐसा नहीं है. In fact, the reverse sounds to be true. So सवाल ये पैदा होता then who are others? Who are others who are non-vegetarians? So if we see in the world's total population of 7.7 billion, 89% of the population is of meat eaters. And to sum it up total, 99% are non-vegetarians. Muslims are the only exception to eat only what's lawful unto them that has been made by Quran, and to keep aloof from all other kind of beef or meat that are haram for them. Even in India, out of the 1.38 billion population, 180 million Indians consume beef. The largest beef consuming state is not a Muslim majority, but in 2015 it was Meghalaya, where more than 80% population consumes meat. Then, as per the report of 2018 and in 2020 also, Kerala is the largest beef consuming state in the country. So, over 70% Indians are non-vegetarians, and this is also reported by NSSO data that this data has been underreported due to various restrictions, and it has undermined the household consumptions as well. Then the question comes कि इतना मीट जो लोग खाते हैं वो आता कहाँ से है, जाता कहाँ से है. So India ranks third in world in the top beef exporters. So to sum up, 4 countries are there. The first one is Brazil, US, India and Australia, which account to 66% of the world's beef exports. Can you imagine that? And then comes the most shocking revelation. You can Google it too. The top 5 beef exporters in India, they are non-Muslims. India exports beef to more than 50 countries across the world. And the biggest purchaser is Vietnam, the country with the largest Buddhist population, which takes 52.17% of the total beef supplies from India. India ranked second in the fish production industry in 2014, and as per 2018 status, India ranks third in the world in fish production. So we also know that seafood and the meat we obtain from the marine industry is a rich source of various nutrients. It's rich in vitamin D, which help boost the brain health. It reduces the risk of heart attacks, strokes. It helps against autoimmune diseases, cancer, and also prevents asthma in children. This lands us to the final question of our video: why so many countries are interested into beef or meat? ऐसे कौन से लाभ या फ़ायदे हैं जिसने आउटलॉ कर दिया सारे रिलीजियस और कल्चरल रेस्ट्रिक्शंस को? पैसा. यस, द कमर्शियल, इंडस्ट्रियल, फार्मास्यूटिकल, कॉस्मेटिकल, डेयरी इंडस्ट्री, इतना सारा जो रेवेन्यू जनरेट होता है बिकॉज ऑफ दिस सिंगल ingredient, meat. It cannot be enumerated here. And as we usually think all meat ends up on the grill, the parts we ignore are present throughout our everyday lives. From lipsticks to jet fuel to medicines, cattle provide us all. To sum it up, basically 60% is harvested for food and the 40% remaining ends up in places like pharmaceutical industries and sport rackets, for instance. So let's start and see what are the benefits that we derive from cattle industry. Quran states that in cattle you have an instructive example. From within their bodies we produce milk for you to drink. There are in them besides numerous other benefits for you, and of their meat you eat. and we all know the benefits of milk. Prophet ﷺ said, milk is a complete diet which serves as both food and drink. Milk is rich in calcium, vitamin D, and so many other vitamins as well. Calcium, we know it's good for bones. It helps prevent osteoporosis. It helps in arthritis, and also calcium has been studied to prevent various types of cancer and help treat cancer. Vitamin D, we know it helps promote the happy hormone serotonin, which helps in building up moods. It helps regulate sleep cycle. It helps in appetite and also helps against depression and anxiety. But one may say or ask, why meat alone? कितने सारे प्रोटीन ऑल्टरनेटिव्स दूसरे भी मौजूद है. So meat is the richest and the easiest available and the cheapest source of protein besides eggs and the other alternatives that are present. Also, it is complete source of protein unlike other protein alternatives because it contains all the essential amino acids that our body needs to function properly. तो सर्वगुण संपन्न का अवार्ड अगर किसी को जाता है तो वो है एनिमल मीट. Across the world, many different cultures like to use an animal in its entirety for food, including making use of blood, meat, bones, and organs. But as we have mentioned it earlier, Muslims eat only selective meats that have been made halal to them. In the US, organ meats are called offal. Organ foods are called superfoods because of the dense sources of vitamins and nutrients. They are rich in vitamin B, iron, potassium, copper, magnesium, vitamin A, D, E, K, and many other minerals and vitamins. Hence, we see in natural predatory world, predatory animals like lion or tiger, for example, whenever they prey upon the animal, they eat the liver first as soon as they prey. And now we know the reason why. Liver or kaleji as we call it, it is the most nutrient dense organ. It is also called the detox organ or the nutritional powerhouse. It's a powerful source of vitamin A. It is also called nature's multivitamin. And we know liver extracts are given in iron deficiency diseases or for curing hepatitis or curing other liver diseases. Even to increase the hemoglobin levels, liver extract has proved to be very, very useful. And it also contains vitamin B12, folic acid, iron, chromium, and copper, besides various other vitamins. Then comes kidney or gurde as we call it. They are a rich source of omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin A. So it has shown to have very good anti-inflammatory properties, and it's very, very good and useful for heart as well. A weird fact is, in ancient times, kidney meat was only served to the upper sections of the society. Spleen, tilly, spleen extracts are given as medicine for various diseases like curing low WBC counts in some cancers and in autoimmune diseases, in curing various infections. It's a good source of riboflavin, niacin, zinc, and a very good source of proteins, vitamin C, vitamin B12, iron, potassium, and selenium. Spleen extract or spleen is very high in cholesterol, so people with already high cholesterol levels should avoid eating spleen in that much quantities. Adrenal glands are used in making steroid drugs. Lungs are used to derive the blood thinner chemical messenger heparin. Cartilages are used as medicine for people with arthritis or osteoarthritis. Then comes the bones and the paya. We know the Nalli Nihari is infamous for its chatori gullies in the winter mornings. But the paya soup or the bone broth, it's very rich and nourishing soup that's extremely healthy. It's rich with minerals that support the immune system. It has healing components like collagen, and we know collagen that's good for skin and hairs. Then comes gelatin. Gelatin is derived from boiling the bones and the hide. So the distinctive gummy taste we get to various foods like marshmallows, caramels, or jams, that comes from gelatin. Also, the medicinal capsule covers we have whenever we eat a capsule is made of gelatin. Then the bones are also used in fertilizers or in charcoal industry, in glass industry as well. Heart meat. Heart is rich with coenzyme Q10, which is a super antioxidant. Heart meat is rich with folate, iron, zinc, selenium, and all the other B complex group of vitamins. It helps treats and prevents various cardiac diseases and especially heart diseases. Helps decrease BP. It helps in reducing cholesterol. It aids in the healthy blood vessel formation. It helps in brain and reduces the risk of Alzheimer's, dementia, memory loss, depression, and anxiety. Tongue meat. Tongue meat is rich in calories, fatty acids, zinc, iron, choline, vitamin B12, and tongue meat has been proven to be specially beneficial for recovering from illnesses, prolonged or chronic illnesses, and especially it has been proved to be good for pregnant women as well. We know that folate is the vitamin which is found in most of the organ meats, and folate has been proven to be beneficial for fertility. It helps in avoiding fetal defects and in babies with like spina bifida and heart problems as well. So in addition, we know that vitamin B6, it also helps in curing or in reducing the symptoms of morning sickness in pregnancy. Then we get so many life-saving medicines. For example, insulin. Bovine insulin is nearly identical to human pancreas and is often used as an alternative to human insulin. Then comes brain or bheja. Brain is rich with omega-3 fatty acids. It contains phosphatidylcholine and phosphatidylserine. These two ingredients are a part of nervous system, and hence we know how it can help improve, and it's very good for nervous system. So brain is also used for production of anti-aging products or cosmetics. It helps protect against brain and spinal cord from damage as well. Besides these, there are various other byproducts that are found from the cattle or animal byproducts we can see, we have studied, but we forget or we tend to forget them. For example, the internal organs, we usually throw away the cattle viscera. Intestines are used in making tennis rackets or stringed instruments, violin for example, archery bows, and also helps in deriving various hormones and enzymes. Special aspect here is the production of catgut. Catgut sutures. These are the sutures or the threads that are used in stitching up the wounds in surgery. So they are made from intestine. Then comes the fat industry. We know the fat or the lard or the tallow. It is that component that gives the various things its slickiness or the oily consistency to soaps, creams, cosmetics, crayons, toothpaste. Fats are also used in lubricant industries. It acts as an antifreeze, so it's also used in hydraulic brakes, and fat industry has been exploited also in the making of biofuel in US Air Force. Then comes the blood and the sinews. Blood and the sinews, it also isn't waste. It goes into the lab research material where blood cultures and various other research and development projects are undertaken due to this. Blood and waste, they act as manures. We know manures, especially blood and other waste material, they are rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and it acts as a rich fertilizer for soil. So it already biodegradable manure, and it helps improve the fertility of soil. Then we know the hairs, they are used in air filters, production of air filters or brushes, and they are also used in textile industry, felt industry. Then the skin and the hide or the hooves and the horns, they are used in leather industry, tanning industry. They are used in the production of emery boards, various kind of medicines in adhesive industry, for making conditioners, or for plywood industry or lamination industry, plastic industry, for instance. So these are among the various undiscovered yet, or among the various numerous benefits that we derive from animals, for instance. So it's time that we have a sight or vision on the larger than life picture, rather than petty debates or the stereotype that has been brainwashed inside our heads by the media houses. And lastly, Eid ul Azha is not only about eating and cooking, but Eid ul Azha symbolizes our willingness to sacrifice and give up things for the sake of Allah that may benefit us or are close to our hearts. Quran clearly states that neither their meat nor their blood reaches Allah, but it's our sincere intentions and our commitment unto Him which matters the most.